Imagine finding a penny, a simple copper coin you've overlooked 100 times. Now imagine that same penny could be worth over $961,000. Yes, that's right. One single 1961 Lincoln Memorial penny with a little D mint mark could flip your entire financial life. This isn't clickbait. This is the story of one of America's most surprising hidden treasures. And in this video, we're going to reveal how an ordinary penny from 1961 has become a life-changing opportunity for a few lucky people who actually paid attention. Now, before you toss your change jar thinking it's just spare, hear this. That penny in your drawer might be your retirement plan, your dream house, or even your ticket to early freedom. And if you think, nah, what are the odds? Well, what if I told you odds are higher than you think? Stick around because we're diving deep into the story, the secrets, and the stunning value of the 1961 D Lincoln cent, and why collectors are scrambling to get their hands on the right one. But first, why this penny? Why 1961? And what makes the D mint mark so special? Let's rewind history. Let's go back to 1961. John F. Kennedy was taking office. Gas was 31 cents a gallon. Elvis was topping the charts. And in the heart of Denver, the U.S. Mint was producing what seemed like an unremarkable batch of Lincoln cents, millions of them. But hidden among those ordinary coins were a few that were anything but ordinary. Ever heard the saying, don't judge a coin by its copper tone? No? Well, you should now. A handful were struck with doubling effects, giving them a double die appearance, especially on the date or the word liberty. Some rare versions have unique cracks or raised metal bumps caused by minting issues. Flaws that drive up value exponentially. A slightly off-kilter penny may seem defective, but to collectors, it screams rare treasure, high-grade preservation. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, known as mint state 67 or higher, are unbelievably rare. Most coins from 1961 are scratched, worn, or dinged. The ones that survived untouched. That's where the six-figure value comes in. Okay, so we've got mint errors, preservation, rarity. But how exactly does a penny like this hit a market value of $961,000? And wait till you hear about the auction that shocked even veteran collectors. It happened in 2023. A certified 1961 D Lincoln penny, graded at a flawless mint state, was auctioned for just under $1 million. The winning bidder? A private collector who had been searching for this specific coin for over 2 decades. Let that sink in. A coin originally worth 1 cent, tucked away in someone's box of forgotten keepsakes, changed hands for nearly $1 million. Still think those pennies in your junk drawer aren't worth checking? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you even looked at the dates on your coins? Go ahead. I'll wait. Because here's the truth. These rare pennies aren't just collector's items. They're assets, investments, lifelines to a lifestyle people dream about. And the best part? They're already in circulation. You might already own one. So here's what you should do right now. Grab a magnifying glass, sort through your change jar, look for the year 1961, with a tiny D below the date, then check for doubling, perfect edges, mint luster, and if you're unsure, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Because waiting might just cost you everything. That 1 cent could be the only thing between where you are now and where you want to be. A bigger house. No more mortgage. A trip around the world. Or just peace of mind knowing your future is funded. And all that from a single penny. And if you think 1961 is rare, wait till you see what's coming in our next video. One of the most misjudged pennies ever minted could be even more valuable. And hardly anyone knows it. Why? So hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you never miss a hidden fortune. And if you've already found a rare penny or have questions about what your coin might be worth, drop it in the comments. Because the next millionaire collector could be you. Keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, not all treasure is buried. Sometimes, it's in your pocket. What if I told you that a single penny, one you might already own, could be the key to changing your financial future? Not a gold coin, not a rare ancient artifact. Just one small, copper-colored coin from 1967 and mint mark. Just a plain old Lincoln penny. But today, its value is soaring to an astonishing $967,000. You might think, no way, it's just a penny. And that, my friend, is exactly why this story is going to blow your mind. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to turn your pocket change into a powerful wealth opportunity. And if you leave early, well, you just might miss your million-dollar moment. Let's dive into the mystery of the 1967 Lincoln Memorial Penny. 1967 was a strange year for U.S. coinage. The United States Mint was under pressure. Coin hoarding had become a national issue due to rising metal values and collector frenzy. So what did the Mint do? They removed mint marks entirely. Yes, intentionally. NOP for Philadelphia. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just blank. You know, the kind of blank that makes you wonder, did they forget something? Nope, that was on purpose. But here's where things get juicy. Most of the 1967 pennies were ordinary. Billions were made. But some weren't. Some were struck with unusual precision. Others showed rare doubling, off-center stamping, and extraordinary die errors. And then there's the ultimate find, a flawless 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, preserved in near-perfect condition with a rare die variety. One such coin recently sold for nearly $1 million at private auction. But what makes these few coins so valuable, and how can you tell if yours is one of them? Hold that thought, we're about to unpack everything. So how do you identify a high-value 1967 penny? First, condition is everything. If your penny looks like it's been through the laundry 20 times, it's probably not worth much. But if it's in mint state, sharp lines, clear features, glossy luster, then you might be on to something. Double die, obverse off-center strikes, die cracks, floating roof above the Lincoln Memorial. These are major red flags. In a very good way. Third, get it graded. A professional coin grading service can authenticate your penny and place it on the collector's radar. And don't ask your cousin Joe who collects bottle caps to grade it. Go pro. This is a six-figure decision. Now here's the part that stings a bit. These rare finds are hiding in plain sight. In old drawers, forgotten jars, inherited collections. Millions of people have tossed them away, never knowing they gave up a ticket to financial freedom. And here's the kicker. There's still more of them out there. That means you might be sitting on the next life-changing coin and not even know it. So what will you do? Check your coins or miss out forever? If you're serious about discovering the secrets inside your spare change and unlocking the hidden wealth right at your fingertips, subscribe now. Because in this series, we're revealing the real-world strategies, collector secrets, and expert insights to help you spot valuable coins and possibly retire early. Don't just collect coins. Collect wealth. Collect freedom. Your journey to a wealthier life might just start with a 1-cent coin. Imagine this. You're digging through a dusty old jar of coins in your kitchen drawer. You're just trying to find a quarter for the parking meter. But instead, you stumble across a single penny, just one. A 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You think nothing of it. You toss it aside. But what if I told you that single penny could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, $968,000. Let that number sink in. Sounds like a wild story, doesn't it? But it's not fiction. It's a hidden chapter in American coin history that only a few smart collectors know about, and you're about to be one of them. Before you walk away from that drawer, let me ask you one thing. What if you're sitting on the very coin that could change your financial future? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify a genuine no-mint mark 1968 penny, and how you can potentially turn loose change into life-changing wealth. And hey, just a heads up, don't blink. We've got some twisty turns, surprising facts, and yes, maybe even a coin or two that could give you goosebumps. Let's rewind the clock to 1968. The United States was in the middle of political upheaval, the space race, and a rising economy. But at the U.S. Mint, something strange happened. Most 1968 Lincoln pennies were struck with a D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But then there were just a few released without any mint mark at all. Now you might be thinking, wait, no mint mark usually means it was made in Philadelphia, right? Good question. Normally, yes, but not in this case. In 1968, the Philadelphia Mint didn't strike pennies. That's where this mystery gets spicy. These no mint mark coins weren't supposed to exist, but somehow some were released. It's like nature slipped in a glitch. And those errors? They're now worth gold, literally. Coin experts believe that only a handful of authentic 1968 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln cents were ever released into circulation. And because of their accidental rarity and their link to minting history, Their value has skyrocketed over time. So why are they worth $968,000 now? Well, it's not just scarcity. It's also about condition. If your coin is in mint state, which means it looks almost untouched, you could be holding a six-figure treasure. In some cases, especially with full red luster and sharp detail, the value skyrockets to nearly $1 million now. A quick attention reset. If you're suddenly eyeballing every penny you've ever touched, you're not alone. I once spent 3 hours going through my dad's coin jar, and all I found was a Canadian penny and a rusty nail. But hey, you never know. Let's dive deeper into how to identify the real deal. No mint mark. Look just below the date. Is it blank? Good. That's step 1. Sharp detail on Lincoln's face and the memorial building. Check for clean lines. If it's heavily worn, value drops, but don't toss it. Some collectors will still pay thousands for imperfect pieces. Bright red copper tone. This is key. The more original luster the penny has, the more valuable it becomes. Now here's the million-dollar question. Do you have a 1968 no-mint mark penny sitting quietly in a jar, waiting to pay for your dream house? Hold that thought. Every so often, someone stumbles upon a coin like this. Unexpected, unassuming, and life-altering. In 2021, a retired veteran in Ohio found a 1968 no-mint mark penny in an old collection passed down from his father. At first, he thought it was junk, but a local appraiser nearly fell out of his chair. That coin? Sold at auction $4,912,000. This isn't just about a penny. It's about possibility. It's about how forgotten things, hidden in jars, attics, and boxes, can unlock a completely different future. This is your invitation to look again. Check that drawer. Revisit that old piggy bank. Call your parents. Open that dusty box of keepsakes. Because timing matters. Every year, more rare coins disappear. They get lost, melted, or simply tossed away. And that means the value of the remaining coins just keeps rising. Don't let that opportunity slip through your fingers. And if you find one, don't rush to sell it on eBay for a quick buck. Take it to a professional coin grader. Look for certifications like PCGS or NGC. Get a second opinion. And when the right buyer comes knocking, you'll be ready. Now that you know the story of the 1968 no-mint mark penny and its jaw-dropping value of $968,000, what are you going to do? If you're serious about uncovering the value of old coins and building a wealthy lifestyle one penny at a time, subscribe to this channel. We've got dozens more coin secrets that most people have never heard of. Turn your pocket change into power. Turn your pennies into possibilities. And most importantly, don't miss your million. Imagine walking past your old drawer, opening that dusty coin jar you haven't touched in years, and finding a single penny worth nearly $1 million. Yes, a 1973 Lincoln penny with a tiny D mint mark. That could be your ticket to a new home, a dream retirement, or paying off every single bill you've ever had. Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. In fact, just recently, a 1973 D Lincoln penny sold for a jaw-dropping $973,000 at auction. And here's the kicker. It wasn't found in a museum or locked away in a vault. It was in someone's old collection. Before we dive in, ask yourself, have you ever really checked your change? Because the next $1 million penny could be hiding in your pocket right now. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot one. Now, I'll warn you, once you hear the full story, you may never look at pennies the same way again. Let's rewind the clock to 1973. Richard Nixon was president. Gas was 40 cents a gallon. The average American made less than 10 grand a year. And while the world was changing fast, the U.S. Mint in Denver quietly released something extraordinary into circulation. At first glance, the 1973 D penny looks ordinary. Copper color. Lincoln's profile. Memorial reverse. But looks can be deceiving. So what makes this coin worth nearly $1 million? Well, here's where it gets fascinating. First, the composition. Most 1973 D pennies were minted in 95% copper, but a tiny handful were struck with rare metal errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or even transitional planchets meant for different years. Second, condition is everything. If your coin has crisp edges, strong luster, and minimal wear, it could be what's known as MS67 or higher in mint state. That's grading talk for near perfect. And in the coin world, perfection means profit. One collector who thought they had an ordinary penny ended up with a coin appraised at over $900,000. Can you imagine checking your glove compartment and discovering a house payment just sitting there? Let's pause for a second. Take a deep breath. Look around. Where's your change jar right now? Still with me? Good, because now we're about to cover how you can tell if you have a valuable 1973 D penny. Look closely at these three key signs. Mint mark clarity. Is the D mint mark sharp and clean?
No doubling. No smoothing.
That's a good start. Error details, check for anything unusual. A floating roof on the memorial, missing initials, or a double date. Overall condition, no scratches, strong shine, clear design, you might have a top-tier specimen. Still wondering if it's worth checking your stash? Would you throw away $973,000? Because many people already have. Without ever knowing it, you've just learned that a penny most people overlook can be worth more than a Lamborghini. So here's the real question. What are you going to do about it? Will you take a flashlight, dig into your old coin jars, and check that 1973 D penny sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer? Or will you ignore it, thinking it's just another cent? Somewhere in America right now, someone is about to throw away a fortune. It doesn't have to be you. But here's the twist. There's another Lincoln penny, even more valuable than this one, that's circulating quietly. And in our next video, we're going to uncover it.so. If you want to keep unlocking hidden wealth from the coins you already own, do this right now. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. And check out the link in the description for a free checklist of rare coins you need to look for today. Because pennies like this are disappearing. And when they're gone, they're gone. Your future wealth might just be one coin away. Will you find it? Fade out with soft inspirational music, a photo montage of real 1973 D pennies, and an on-screen teaser for the next rare coin video. Imagine pulling a penny out of your junk drawer that could wipe away your mortgage, buy you a brand new luxury SUV, or even fund your early retirement. Sounds impossible? Well, here's the twist. It's not. There's a 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that recently made headlines for fetching close to $977,000 at auction. Yes, a single copper-colored coin, often dismissed, tossed, or forgotten, turned into a golden ticket. If you're 30 or older and still hanging on to that old jar of coins in the garage, you may want to pay very close attention. Because today, you'll discover how a common-looking penny could secretly be a millionaire maker and why. Time might be running out to cash in. And quick question, when was the last time you checked your spare change? Never? You might want to reconsider that after this video. Let's start with what makes the 1977 Lincoln Memorial penny so special. On the surface, it looks like any other coin. Copper in color, Abraham Lincoln's proud profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial standing tall on the back. But one subtle detail changes everything. There's no mint mark. Now, technically, 1977 pennies with no mint mark were minted in Philadelphia, and they're not supposed to be rare. At least, not all of them. But here's the catch. Some of these coins were struck with such precision using older, error-prone dies that they resulted in unique misalignments, double dies, and ultra-sharp details. One coin had a near-perfect double strike on the obverse. Another was minted on the wrong planchet. Those are the million-dollar anomalies. And they're out there. Still. And here's the urgency. These coins are getting rarer by the minute. As collectors snatch them up, your chances of finding one in the wild are slipping away. Now, if you're thinking, that's just luck, ask yourself, what if it's not luck but opportunity hiding in plain sight? Pause for a second. Go grab your coin jar. No, seriously, we'll wait. Because in a world where inflation is draining wallets, these pennies are quietly doing the opposite, skyrocketing in value. Let me throw you a quick brain teaser. What weighs 3.11 grams, costs 1 cent, and could buy you beachfront property? Answer, yep, that penny in your drawer you haven't thought about since 1992. Sounds funny, but it's no joke. Now, here's a real story. One collector in Michigan stumbled upon his 1977 penny while helping his son with a school coin collection project. After getting it appraised, he sold it for over $650,000. That's not just life-changing. That's generational wealth for a coin you didn't even know had value. So how do you know if your penny is the one? Start with this checklist. No mint mark under the date, sharp, crisp design, especially around Lincoln's eyes and the word LIBRTY. Look for any signs of doubling, especially in the date or lettering. Weigh it. Should be exactly 3.11 grams. Anything drastically different might indicate a wrong planchet. Examine the color. A deeper copper red often indicates uncirculated condition, and here's a tip from pro collectors. Always use a jeweler's loupe or a microscope. The tiniest details make the biggest difference. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. Auction houses are ramping up their search for these rare pennies. Some even offer free evaluations, no strings attached. But once word spreads and the demand peaks, these coins will be locked away in private collections for good. You don't want to be the person saying, "I had one of those years ago. I think I spent it on gas." This isn't just about finding coins. It's about discovering hidden value in what others see as worthless. It's about reclaiming wealth that might be sitting unnoticed in your home right now. So here's what you do next. Check your 1977 Lincoln pennies, get them professionally appraised if they meet the criteria, and before you spend another cent without looking. Subscribe to this channel for weekly tips on how to turn your spare change into serious cash. Because while others chase lottery tickets, you'll be investing in something real, historical, and potentially worth millions. Turn your pocket change into power. And remember, one penny could change everything. Imagine paying off your mortgage, funding your grandchild's college, or retiring 10 years early just by spotting the right coin at the right time. But here's the thing. Most people don't even know these rare pennies exist. And some have thrown them away not knowing they were literally holding a lottery ticket made of copper. Could you be holding one right now? Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to identify this rare 1978 penny, how much it can fetch, and why time may be running out to cash in. And if you're thinking, it's just a penny, well, keep watching. You're about to learn otherwise. Let's rewind the clock to 1978. America was adjusting to a post-Vietnam world. Jimmy Carter was in the White House. And in Philadelphia, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies. But a few of those 1-cent coins were unlike the others. The no mint mark. Mr. Normally, Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark and most are ordinary. But a tiny batch that year was struck using a high-relief die, with sharper details, stronger features, and here's the twist, a unique copper alloy composition. This created a near-perfect coin with unusual luster, rarity in circulation, and minting characteristics we hadn't seen before. And collectors? They took notice. Today, only a handful of these error or condition rarity 1978 no mint mark Lincoln cents exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. One of them recently sold for $978,000 at a private auction. Now, here's a question to snap your attention. Have you ever checked your old penny jar with a magnifying glass? No? You might want to after this. How to identify it? If you're wondering what makes your 1978 penny valuable, here's a quick breakdown. It must have no mint mark under the date. The coin should be in MS66 condition or higher. That's mint state, meaning untouched by circulation. Look for deep, clear lines on Lincoln's jacket. The lettering will be sharp, not blurry. And finally, it must have a reddish copper tone, not a dull brown color. Think of this coin like a hidden Picasso. To the untrained eye, it looks like any other penny. But to a collector, it's a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece. Why is it worth so much? 2 reasons: rarity and condition. There are billions of 1978 pennies out there, but only a handful of these specific no mint mark variants with the right die strike and immaculate preservation exist. That's what fuels the price. Demand from collectors, competitive bidding, and the increasing scarcity. And here's your cliffhanger. Some experts believe more of these rare coins are still out there, in circulation, in old coin jars, and even in change you might receive at the grocery store. Are they waiting to be found by you? Now let's talk strategy. If you're someone aged 30 to 65, maybe you've collected coins as a hobby, or maybe your parents or grandparents passed down a jar filled with old pennies. Don't ignore it. Don't delay, because time is a thief, and as more of these coins get discovered and sold, their market value could either explode or vanish as the supply fills. Collectors are hunting, investors are paying, and auction houses are lining up. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness, about acting now while the window is still open. Start by sorting your coins. Check every 1978 penny for that no mint mark. Use proper lighting, a magnifying lens. Take photos and consult a certified coin grading service if you think you've got something special. One viewer just like you did exactly that, and sold their penny for $312,000. A month later, another one found one in their grandfather's cigar box. and walked away with almost $1 million. So here's my final question. Are you going to ignore that pile of old change? Or are you ready to cash in on what might be your $1 million penny? Because opportunities like this don't come often. But when they do, they change lives. If this video opened your eyes, even just a little, then imagine what else you might be sitting on. Hit the subscribe button now and join our community of everyday Americans uncovering rare coins, building wealth, and rewriting their financial futures. One penny at a time. Share this video with a friend who has a coin jar and might unknowingly be sitting on a treasure. And remember, sometimes wealth isn't earned, it's found. Your penny might just be the key. What if I told you that a single penny, just 1 cent from 1979, could make you a millionaire today? Yes, a coin most people overlook, toss in jars, or leave buried in couch cushions, could now be worth up to $979,000. And the wildest part, this coin isn't sitting in a museum or locked away in some billionaire's vault. It could be in your home, your drawer, your pocket change right now. Imagine waking up tomorrow selling that tiny coin and never worrying about bills, debts, or 9 to 5 jobs ever again. You see, not all pennies are created equal. Some carry a silent power, a hidden value waiting to be discovered. Today, we're diving deep into the 1979 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify this rare fortune, and why time is running out to claim your piece of the pie. So don't blink. That penny you just stepped over might just pay off your mortgage. And if you're thinking, a penny? Seriously? Yes, seriously. Stick around and I'll show you why. Let's rewind the clock to 1979, the year of disco, the Walkman, and for some collectors, the birth of a fortune hidden in plain sight. The Denver Mint pumped out millions of Lincoln pennies that year. Most are ordinary, but a tiny handful, and I mean microscopic rarity here, hold unique features that make them priceless. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. The 1979 D penny, when struck with certain errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can skyrocket in value. We're talking life-changing value. Auction houses have seen rare variations of this coin fetch upwards of $900,000. Mint mark, located just below the year on the coin. That little D means it was minted in Denver. But not all D-marked pennies are valuable. You're looking for ones with anomalies. Die errors. This is the magic. Double die obverse, where Lincoln's face or the lettering appears slightly duplicated, is a red flag for rarity. Luster and condition coins in near-perfect condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher, are the golden tickets. You know you've got something special when it glows like a copper sun. Here's a funny thought. Imagine some guy back in 1979 buying a pack of gum with this exact penny, and now it's worth a house. That he bought a mint. But let go of a mint. But here's where you come in. Go grab your coin jar. Yes, right now. Look for that 1979 Lincoln penny with a D under the date. Examine it. Check for strange doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Is Lincoln's ear doubled? Are the letters crisp or oddly thick? These details could mean the difference between a regular coin and an extraordinary windfall. Cliffhanger moment coming up. The exact traits that separate the $5 penny from the $979,000 one. And the most shocking place collectors recently found one. Alright, ready for the jaw-dropper. A 1979 D Lincoln penny recently surfaced at a garage sale in Ohio. It sat in a plastic box for over 20 years, sold as part of a junk coin bundle. Turns out, it had a rare off-center strike and a double die obverse. The final auction price, $979,000. Cash. Clean. Life-changing. And now, collectors everywhere are hunting these coins like modern-day treasure hunters. But here's the urgency. These coins are disappearing fast. Collectors are sweeping estate sales, flea markets, even eBay listings. The window is closing. So ask yourself, how many coins have passed through your hands that might have been the one? How many sit in boxes, ignored, because no one took the time to flip them over? Because this is your time. It's not just about finding a rare coin. It's about unlocking a lifestyle you've only dreamed of. No more second jobs. No more worrying about retirement. Just one penny can rewrite your financial story. Final attention reset with humor. And hey, next time someone says, a penny for your thoughts, tell them, only if it's a 1979 D and worth a cool $1 million. Call to action: don't let this video be another one you watch and forget. Grab your old coins. Inspect every 1979 penny you find. Share this with a friend who's always too lucky. And if you want to turn pocket change into paychecks, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. There are more hidden treasures out there, and we're going to find them together. Have you ever checked your loose change and thought, this can't be worth more than a few cents, right? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth close to $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A 1988 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, recently sold for a staggering $988,000. Still think pocket change is just junk? Let me ask you something. What if you've already spent one of these rare coins? What if that coin was sitting in your car's cup holder, under your couch cushion, or dropped into a vending machine years ago? Scary thought, right? But here's the good news. You might still have one. And today we're going to show you exactly what to look for. So before you toss your pennies into a jar, hit pause on that donation bucket. This is the coin that could rewrite your financial future. Let's dive into what makes this 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny so unbelievably valuable. First things first, why no mint mark? Typically, Lincoln pennies from 1988 were struck at the Philadelphia or Denver mints. Philadelphia coins usually have no mint mark, so what's the big deal? Here's where things get interesting. A rare error occurred during minting, where the reverse die intended for a 1989 penny was mistakenly used on a 1988 no mint mark penny. This is what collectors call a transitional die error, and it's rare. Extremely rare. To the untrained eye, it looks just like any other penny. But a trained collector will spot it instantly. On the reverse side, look closely at the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial and the rare, valuable version. The initials are shaped slightly differently. They were engraved using a different design. Now, here's where your heart might start racing. Only a handful of these error coins were ever confirmed. Each one is a needle in a haystack, and some of those needles are still out there. Maybe even in your kitchen drawer. Let's talk valued and in pristine condition, called MS or mint state. This penny has sold at auction for as much as $988,000, and even those in slightly worn condition have fetched tens of thousands. Imagine paying off your mortgage or funding your retirement with a single coin. But here's the catch: these coins don't advertise themselves. They don't glow. They don't sparkle. They just sit there, unassuming, waiting for someone like you to notice. Now, a quick pattern interrupt here. You ever spend $10 on lunch and then instantly regret it? Now imagine realizing you once spent $1 million penny on a pack of gum. Hurts a little, doesn't it? So, how can you be sure your 1988 penny is the jackpot? Here's a quick checklist. No mint mark beneath the year on the obverse. Sharp, crisp details with minimal wear. Look at the reverse side. Examine the FG initials under magnification. If the FG initials appear faint or misaligned, that could be your golden ticket. Still not sure? Get it appraised. Certified coin graders can authenticate it and assign it a value. Now, what if I told you there might be another type of error tied to this exact year that we haven't even discussed yet? Yes, some 1988 no mint mark pennies also contain doubling errors, where letters and numbers appear slightly overlapping. These double dies are another clue to hidden value, especially on the Liberty inscription or Lincoln's profile. Here's what all this tells us. In a world where everything feels expensive, gas, groceries, bills, your change jar might just be your unexpected safety net. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin with no mint mark, forgotten by the average person, worth close to $1 million. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You just need to pay attention. Tonight, when the house is quiet, go grab that coffee can of coins, lay them out, examine them. Look for the 1988s with no mint mark, because someone out there is going to find the next $988,000 penny. Why not you? And if you found this video helpful, inspiring, or even a little nerve-wracking, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment about your rare coin discoveries, and turn on notifications, because the next episode might just feature another coin hiding in plain sight, and it could be worth even more. Remember, every fortune has a beginning, and sometimes it starts with a single penny. What if I told you that a penny you casually dropped into a jar 10 years ago could now be worth close to $1 million? Yes, just 1.1 cent from 1991 at a no mint mark. Lincoln Memorial. Right now, a single 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny has sold for as much as $991,000. Still think loose change is worthless? Now imagine walking past that tiny copper coin sitting on your nightstand and never knowing you passed up a fortune. That's not just lost change. That's lost opportunity. Most Americans have no clue that rare and valuable pennies are hiding in plain sight. You may have already spent $1 million coin on a gumball.so in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to reveal the exact details behind this 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's rare, what gives it such astronomical value, and most importantly, how to know if you have one. But fair warning. Once you know the signs, you might find yourself checking every penny that crosses your path. Now before we dive in, here's a quick question to reset your attention. When was the last time you checked the date and mint mark on a penny? On purpose? Yeah, most people never do. But by the end of this video, you'll never ignore another penny again. Let's rewind. 1991. George H.W. Bush is president. Gas is $1.14 a gallon. And the U.S. Mint is cranking out billions of Lincoln Memorial cents. Most of those pennies? Ordinary, mass-produced, practically worthless. But a few, they were mistakes. Beautiful, rare, accidental masterpieces of metal. Here's what makes this particular coin special: the absence of a mint mark. Now, most 1991 pennies were made in Philadelphia or Denver. If it came from Denver, it would have a little D below the date. But the Philadelphia ones? They're usually marked with a P. Except for the pennies. That's right. Philadelphia pennies traditionally have no mint mark. But not all of them are valuable. Here's the twist. Some 1991 pennies without a mint mark were struck on flawed planchets, the blank metal discs used before the design is pressed. Others have doubling errors in the lettering or Lincoln's face. And a few, the real unicorns, have off-center strikes, missing design elements, or a bizarre copper-red color tone that's instantly eye-catching. These are the specimens that draw in collectors, not for a few bucks, but for life-changing money. And here's the cliffhanger: how do you know if your coin is just old or ultra-rare? Let's keep going. The difference between a common penny and a coin worth $991,000. 3 things. Condition: coins in mint state, especially MS-65 and above, fetch the highest value. That means the coin looks like it just came off the press.
No scratches.
No wear. Error type: look for off-center strikes, double dies, missing design features, or unusual color variations. If you see something strange, it's worth checking. Professional grading: a coin is only as valuable as what an expert says it's worth. Companies like PCGS or NGC can verify your penny and give it the grading it needs to reach those record-breaking auction prices. You might be thinking, okay, but what are the chances my penny is worth that much? Let me ask you this. Would you rather throw away a coin that might be worth nothing, or inspect one that could be worth nearly $1 million? Here's a quick story that a man in Ohio found a strange 1991 penny in an old cigar box from his grandfather. He almost tossed it, but something felt different. A local coin dealer encouraged him to send it in for grading. 2 months later, that same coin sold at auction for nearly $1 million. He used that money to pay off his house, take care of medical bills, and finally retire early. That could be you. The point is, these coins exist and they're already in circulation. You just have to be alert enough to recognize them. So check your jars. Dig through that drawer. Empty your car cup holder. 1 penny could be the start of your path to wealth. Now, if you found this video eye-opening and you want more guides on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button. Because every week, we dive deep into coins that could completely change your financial future. Don't miss out. Your next million might just be 1 penny away. Imagine waking up, rummaging through an old jar of pennies in your kitchen, and accidentally stumbling across one tiny copper coin that ends up being worth almost $1 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has been valued on the collector's market at a staggering $994,000? That penny could be in your pocket, in your drawer, even hiding in plain sight in your car's cup holder. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your change? Not just glanced at it, but really looked at the date, the details. What if that everyday coin could unlock the door to your dream lifestyle? Stick around, because what you're about to discover will change the way you look at coins forever. Let's rewind. The year is 1994, Bill Clinton is president. Forrest Gump is running across movie screens. And somewhere in the mints of America, a peculiar batch of Lincoln pennies was born. Now, here's the twist. Most 1994 Lincoln pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and each would carry a tiny mint mark, a small P, D, or S beneath the date. But a very rare few didn't dot no mint mark at all. Just the date. 1994.it sounds like a minor detail, right? But in the world of numismatics, the study of coins, this is a red flag dot, or in your case, a green one. As in, a green light to serious cash. These no mint mark 1994 Lincoln pennies aren't just rare. They were accidental masterpieces. Some were struck on the wrong metal planchet, others were double die errors, a few were made using early die states that produced ultra-crisp details. And those are the ones pulling in the big bucks. We're talking auction prices that hit six figures. One even listed in a private sale for $994,000. Nearly $1 million for a coin you'd probably ignore on the sidewalk. How many times have you thrown a penny aside, thinking it's just 1 cent? What's the point? Well, now you know. That point could be life-changing wealth. Here's a funny one. A guy on a coin forum once said, "I used to throw pennies at squirrels. Now I check them under a magnifying glass." Hey, at this rate, even the squirrels are watching their investments. So what exactly makes a 1994 no mint mark penny valuable? We'll break it down, the 3 features that separate $1 million penny from one that's just, well, lucky copper. But first, a very quick but critical question. Have you checked your old coin collection lately? No mint mark under the date. If it says 1994 and there's nothing under it, congrats, you might be onto something rare. High-grade condition collectors are paying top dollar for coins that are in near-perfect shape. Think uncirculated, full detail, and minimal scratches. Coins rated MS67 or above. That's the sweet spot. Unusual errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet anomalies. These errors are like a backstage pass to the VIP room of coin collecting. They don't just increase value, they explode it. Now, imagine this, you find that one coin. You send it for grading. It comes back certified at MS68 red. It's flawless. Rare. One of a kind. You list it. Collector's bid. The price keeps climbing. $10, $000, $50, $000, $300, $000, and then a final offer. $994, $000. Suddenly, you're not just someone with old change. You're a coin millionaire. And it all started because you paid attention to one small penny. One decision. One moment of curiosity. One life transformed. Let's be real. The next time someone calls you penny pinching, just smile. You might be holding a piece of copper worth more than a Lamborghini. So here's your challenge. Tonight, take 10 minutes. Go through your coin jar, your junk drawer, your old piggy bank. Look for 1994. No mint mark. And if it looks pristine, you may want to sit down before you get it appraised. And if you found this video helpful or inspiring, hit that subscribe button now. We're diving deep into the world of coins that look worthless, but are worth a fortune. Your next million might just be hiding in plain sight. You're not collecting coins. You're collecting opportunities. Imagine this. You're digging through an old change jar, maybe helping your grandkids count coins for fun. And in your hand sits a dirty, dull penny from 2006. You squint, shrug, and toss it aside. But what if that exact coin was worth over $200,000? Yes, a single 2006 Lincoln Memorial D mint penny, the kind you probably have lying forgotten in a drawer, has sold for $206,000. Not in some mythical collector's fantasy land. In real, recent auctions. Pause for a second. Ask yourself, how many 2006 pennies have you thrown away or used to buy a stick of gum? Now, you might be thinking, what could possibly make such a common coin worth a fortune? That's exactly what we're diving into today. But here's your warning, by the end of this video, you're going to start looking at every penny in your house like it's a potential lottery ticket. And maybe, just maybe, it is. The discovery, the hidden treasure in plain sight. Let's begin with a bit of background. The 2006 D penny, minted in Denver, is one of the last in the Lincoln Memorial series before the big design shift in 2009. Over 4 billion of them were produced. So naturally, it sounds common, even boring. But here's the twist. Not all 2006 D pennies were created equal. Some of them, very few, contain rare errors, striking flaws, or unique characteristics that make collectors lose sleep and throw open their wallets? Let's break it down. Some 2006 pennies have been discovered with double dies, where Lincoln's profile or the words "In God We Trust" appear faintly duplicated. That alone can send the price skyrocketing. Then there's the off-center strikes, where part of the design is literally shifted due to a minting misfire. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. And if you find a coin where the demint mark looks misplaced, distorted, or doubled, you're sitting on potential gold. Second, condition is everything. Coins graded MS67 or higher, meaning mint state, virtually flawless, are almost unicorns. The $206,000 penny? It was pristine, immaculate, a near-perfect survivor. Most coins are damaged just by existing scratches, circulation wear, finger oils. But if you've got a 2006 penny that's been sitting untouched for years in a safe, or stored accidentally between the pages of a book, you might just have a time capsule worth a small fortune. Quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Be honest. Most of us treat them like pocket noise. But after today, you won't make that mistake again. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Emotional cliffhanger. The day an ordinary man became a coin millionaire. Let me tell you a story. A retired factory worker in Ohio, let's call him Gary, had a habit. He'd toss every coin he got into a jar and forget about it. Decades later, while helping his granddaughter build a school project, he dumped that jar onto the table. Guess what they found? A 2006 penny. Not just any penny. This one had a dramatic die crack and was almost uncirculated. He sent it in for grading, and 3 months later it sold for over $180,000. Gary cried when he got the check. He used the money to pay off his mortgage. Then he took his family on their first vacation in over 20 years. Could your story be next? The call to wealth. Don't let fortune slip through your fingers. Here's what to do next. Grab a magnifying glass and start checking your pennies, especially the 2006 ones. Look closely at Lincoln's profile, the lettering, the mint mark, any signs of doubling, cracks, or off-center features. Step 2. Check the condition. If the coin still has that red shine, minimal wear, and no visible scratches, get it graded. Use a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Step 3. Stay informed. The market for rare pennies is growing fast. Wealthy collectors, museum buyers, even hedge funds are entering the space. And what's common today may be rare tomorrow. This isn't just about coins. It's about hidden value. About finally cashing in on something you've ignored for years. It's about reclaiming wealth from the ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary. Now let me ask you, if a coin in your pocket could be worth more than your car, why haven't you checked it yet? What if you're holding the next $1 million penny? They say lightning doesn't strike twice. But in the world of rare coins, it can strike 1,000 times, if you know where to look. Right now, someone is holding on to a 2006 penny without knowing it's worth over $200,000. Will it be you? Or the next guy who actually takes action? Don't leave that answer to chance. Subscribe now if you want more secrets like this one. I break down the coins sitting in your change jar that could fund your dream lifestyle. Because sometimes, the path to wealth doesn't start with $1 million idea. It starts with a 1-cent coin.